Montero. What up, E?
What's going on? Man, those are some nice medals.
Yeah, man, these are hard to come by.
Yeah, well, I've got 2 of them.
Well, that's nothing like going to March Madness, though.
We did go to a national championship.
Okay, guys, whatever. Let's just get on the Montana party bus and head over to Press Box for lunch.
Yeah.
Nuanez Now and Skyline Sports, covering Montana athletics and the Big Sky Conference better than anybody. The Montana Party Bus and the Press Box are also proud supporters of Montana athletes.
Hey, cheers to you guys, man. Cheers to Montana. Cheers to chasing more championships.
Kind of looking to make a statement, right? So to speak to, I guess, this challenge for Montana State and, kind of the usual, trying to get some of these guys to know what this game will be.
Yeah, it's always the environment is the biggest piece in terms of the energy and how loud it is. We always talk about how meaningful it is for the state, but as this portal thing, this transfer situation continues to increase, you just don't really have very many guys that have played in the game before. Fortunately for us, we've had 4 or 5 guys that have been on the floor that broke a sweat in the situation, and hopefully that's advantageous to us.
You're actually just talking about kind of like your road record against some of these teams. I think 7-3 in Bozeman, right? I guess when you think of like the preparation that goes into just any road game, but this one specifically, why has there been success in the past in this environment?
I think for us is just how seriously we prepare for every game, and we don't treat it differently. I think that's the biggest thing. I think that, was it the 5th longest rivalry in history? Yeah. Right? And I think sometimes you build it up to be a championship game when it's not. We've never played them for a championship except once in 12 years, right? How many times in history have these 2 teams met up for a championship game, right? And I think that if you treat it differently than any other game, you tend to either play very well or very poorly. And so for us, it's a week to get better and work on our own tendencies and work on ourselves. And then we go into it and we give them the same level of respect we give Northern Colorado or vice versa. And I think when your team goes into games with the same routine every night, every afternoon, you tend to be more consistent.
You guys seem like you've turned a corner since the Christmas break. So what's been different? What have you thought of your team so far 2 weekends into Big Sky play?
Sense of urgency, attention to detail, respect for opponent. I think those are things that are hard to sustain. And for us, with a team that lacks very much experience, those are things that you have to build and create in terms of a mindset. And sometimes it takes more than just a couple months in the summer to get to that point.
I know you talked last year about the team coming together and the way that you were able to operate that. Is this process been similar or different from last year?
Different and similar, I guess. The process has taken longer than maybe 5-6 years ago. This year it's taken longer than it did last year. I think fortunately for us last year is our schedule was a lot different. The talent was a lot different in terms of style of play, and you could win games, still playing poorly. And with this group, we're not that. We have to play well. We have to play together. We don't have to play our best basketball, but we have to play well. We have to play together.
A lot of those guys last year talked about embracing the championship mindset. Does this team have that so far? I mean, have they sort of realized the expectation at Montana?
They're close. They've shown signs of it. I think the Northern Colorado game at home, the first 4 minutes of that game, you sense it, you felt it, shoot around, things like that. I think, going into Idaho, first 10 minutes of that game, you felt it, the energy, the communication. And then, what happens is I always believe that success builds complacency, not success. And I think we got complacent for 50 minutes after that. And so the question for us is Saturday, can we get that energy back? Can we remember what it felt like a week ago?
Life can change in an instant. If you've been hurt in an accident, suffered from medical negligence, or are facing criminal charges, you don't have to face it alone. At Ryan Miller & Coburn, we're here to listen and fight for you. We're your neighbors, traveling across Montana to stand by your side as your link to justice. Real people, real help, right here in Montana. Ryan Miller & Coburn, your Montana attorneys.
Meeting her stopped your world. The ring you give her should stop her heart.
Tina, will you marry me?
Not again! Don't worry, I'm gonna fix this, because we want to be your jeweler! Aren't our beautiful diamonds clear? Come back to me, Tina!
Are you okay?
Join Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any Town Pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.
Right down the road, pump it up. Oh, yeah.
What do you think of Montana State? What sort of things do they do well that has you concerned this week?
They're just so different than everyone else that they get you out of sync. The switching, the way they play defense, they can get you to get stagnant. Teams turn the ball over a lot against them because you're stagnant and you're dribbling into the teeth of the defense. And so when the game feels slow, all of a sudden they're shooting quick shots and they're getting in transition. And so you got to play your game, but you have an understanding of the adjustments that you make going into their style of play and find things that you can pick on. And when it's not there, find something else. And it's like playing against zones. You can get a quick shot here and there, but you probably won't get the same shot out of the same action in back-to-back possessions because they make adjustments. And so we got to be able to be aggressive and read and react all at the same time.
When it is new faces on the team, but like a similar coaching staff, right, and they're running like their systems, does that affect preparation at all when you're looking at what they're doing, or have you noticed changes much when teams do that?
I can't really speak to that. We all have our tendencies, and so when you get to conference, I think that's why you see, some teams are hitting stride and they get to conference and then they hit a speed bump, and some teams aren't playing well and get to conference and play well, and I think it's both. We do have tendencies that we can prepare for, and if you have a coach in conference for 4 or 5 years and your staff has been together for a period of time, your prep is a little easier. You just got to find little wrinkles that they've changed and things like that. But most of us don't make drastic changes. We coach to our own strengths and our own experiences. So I think that sometimes the prep is shorter in that regard, but personnel changes a lot of things, and our personnel has turned over so much in this conference that some tendencies change a little bit.
Yeah, and with a game like this, obviously you're starting 5, they can go out and do their thing, bring energy from the get-go, but it's the guys that on the bench that come in late in the games too. Just how important is it to have those guys really be those spark plugs and bring the energy for a game like this on Saturday?
It's all 14. It's the energy on the bench of the guys that aren't going in the game and have been in the game for a while too. It's the energy in the locker room before the game starts. When the energy is high on the bench, then typically the guys that get their number called are ready to go. And so that's huge because it's not always just points off the bench, it's execution on both sides of the ball off the bench. The teams that can play through foul trouble, missed shots, injuries, things like that are the ones that have guys ready to go regardless to when their number's called.
Without just the progress Money Williams has made, have you seen him improve and grow over this year?
Game to game continues to grow. From season to season, he's continued to grow. He's been like a sponge in terms of his ability to take in information, execute information, and add tools to his box. And, everyone sees the scoring and the highlights, and that's always been there. But he's grown in a lot of different areas in the game. And as he continues to do that, I think we'll continue to be a better basketball team.
Fun point guard matchup because the two guys that are playing really well, but two totally different players between Money and Jed Miller. So what do you think of just the way he's playing, the way he's sort of?
Well, that's what makes the game exciting. Right. His styles of play, strengths of players, even if they're playing head up. And Jed Miller has figured out how to contribute to winning and impact winning. And you only know what you see on film, but to me it looks like he's a natural leader. He's a competitor. And guys like him can, ignite a team to wins. And so we've got to make sure that we do what we've got to do to make the game hard for him.
How about Patrick McMahon? He's such an ISO player, different than another guy that's kind of different than anybody else in the league.
He's one of those guys that just finishes at a high rate. He knows what's a good shot for him, and he knows how to get that shot. And they give him the freedom to do that. And so defensively, if you don't understand what it is he's trying to get to and have the ability to take some of that away, he's going to light you up. And he's had games where he goes 11 for 14, 11 for 15. You can't let guys do that, and you got to get them out of their comfort zone, or at least try to take away some of their strengths.
Hello, my name is Kelly Ayat, quarterback at the University of Montana. In the off-season, it's important to do everything you can to prepare for the season. In high school, that means funding your program. In my experience, Vertical Raise is the ultimate online fundraiser platform. Now broaden your reach of your fundraiser and bring in more money than other platforms. And there are no sneaky or hidden fees like other companies. If you're trying to raise money for your program, reach out to Vertical Raise today.